Hyperfocal distance, or focusing, is used when you want to get everything sharp from the foreground to the far distance or infinity. Now it sounds very complicated, but it's simply focusing on a distance that gives you the maximum depth of field for a particular focal length and aperture. In the good old days, lenses often had a depth of field scale marked on the lens that you could use to set the focus. But many lenses don't even have a distance scale marked on them anymore. So here's a simple technique to use without getting bogged down in complicated maths or charts. First, you need to choose your composition and fix your camera in position on your tripod. Then, with the camera set to manual focus, switch on the live view screen and carefully focus around a third of the way between the closest object you want in focus and the far distance. With the camera in aperture priority exposure mode, you can now set the aperture to a small value such as f11. Then check whether this setting gives you enough depth of field to keep everything sharp by zooming in on the live view image and scroll around to check the subject in the foreground and the far distance. If they're sharp, then you can go ahead and take your shot. But if they're soft, you'll need to reduce the aperture to give you more depth of field. So try f16 and again check the sharpness. If you're using a Canon camera, you need to press the depth of field preview button to show these changes in the aperture setting. But if you're using a Nikon, you'll have to switch the live view off and then back on again to see the effect of the changing aperture. If it's still soft at f16, you'll need to repeat the process until you reach the smallest aperture setting. And if you can't get the whole scene sharp at this aperture, you'll have to either move further away from the foreground subject or use a shorter focal length to give you more depth of field. Now you may be wondering why I didn't just set the smallest aperture setting to get the maximum depth of field straight away. Well, this isn't always the best option for the sharpest images, because very small apertures such as f22 give softer results than values of around f11 on most lenses. So it's better to use an aperture around this value if it gives you enough depth of field.